Well, hey, it's time for the last class on this little weapon ideas series. This time around, the Scout! I mean, the Scout has some pretty good diversity in his unlocks. He's got throwable weapons, drinkable weapons, weapons that give more mobility, two two-shot shotguns, a 4-shot pepper gun, and a weapon that stuns people. Plus, he's got the second most amount of weapons in the game. So what doesn't Scout have? What could he have? Hypothetically, what ifs? Maybe I might have some ideas. You know what Scout doesn't have? A primary weapon without a clip size penalty. Ever since the Babyface's blaster was changed, literally every single one of Scout's primary unlocks has a smaller clip. Every single one. Nothing has 6 shots. So, what if we did the opposite? What about a scattergun with a larger clip size? Say plus 33% like the family business. 8 shots. Then from there, I was thinking, since you'd have so many shots, what if the weapon rewarded making good use of them, but punished missing and wasting them? On kill, this weapon would automatically load up to 4 ammo. So say you use 5 shots before killing someone. As soon as you get that kill, your loaded ammo would go from 3 to 7. No reload required, and it would just draw from your ammo pool. Theoretically, so long as you could keep getting kills, you'd never have to reload. But for the drawbacks, you will not be able to reload unless all your shots have been fired. This means you cannot reload whenever you want. So the only way to reload normally is to fire all shots without getting a kill. But you'd still be able to cancel the reload in the middle if you fire or switch weapons though. But what's to stop you from firing those last 2 shots just so you can reload? Well, this weapon would reload 25% slower. You're gonna have to painstakingly load up all 8 shots for almost 6 seconds. Think kinda like the sticky bomb launcher reload time, but it's not automatic and you could only reload from 0. And finally, I was thinking maybe this weapon should be a little bit less accurate. Say 20%. This just makes it so you need to get a little bit closer to land more of those pellets, or use another shot if you're planning on keeping your distance. Obviously, the goal of this weapon would be to never have to reload. It can let a scout with good aim continue to be aggressive without having to take the time to load anything, but punishes you pretty hard if you're just gonna waste your clip. Just don't get assists. That's not gonna help you. Alright, I kinda like this next idea because it's kinda stupid. You know those baseball pitching machines that you see at like batting cages? What if it was used as a gun? Just running around, shooting baseballs everywhere? It'd be a projectile primary for the Scout. That could be kinda neat. The baseballs on this weapon would have the same speed and arc as the Sandman's, but obviously they will not stun. However, these will do 200% more damage than the Sandman's ball, going from a base damage of 15 to 45. Then compared to the Scattergun, this baseball launcher would have a 66% larger clip size, so 10 shots, and it would fire 50% faster, being able to fire about 3 times a second. Plus, as an extra little bonus, picking up your baseballs off the ground will add them to your loaded ammo. So if you run out to collect all the baseballs you fired, you won't need to take the time to load all 10 or so of them back up. And there you go, a sorta semi-rapid firing projectile gun for the Scout. The projectiles don't have damage fall off, so it could be a decent ranged weapon, and it would have a pretty okay potential damage output. But realistically, aiming and consistently hitting them won't be the easiest thing to do. So it's nowhere near as reliable as a scattergun, but it's not supposed to be. It'd just be one of those stupid, fun weapons, which Scout could probably use more of. One of the weapons scrapped for the original Scout update would have been a catcher's mitt that allows Scout to catch projectiles, store them, and then throw them back. It's kind of hard to imagine exactly how this would work out in game. Like, I mean, how even would you catch them? Should they actually be storable? Could you tell if a Scout had a projectile stored? I can imagine why it didn't work out so well. But being able to reflect projectiles could work. Maybe. Possibly. On a bat. That's what bats are made for, right? They're for hitting things away. You get them going for here? You catch my drift? So let's say this bat can reflect projectiles. When you swing, it'll create a air blast-like effect that knocks them away. But unlike Pyro's air blast, this won't cause projectiles to mini-crit. In addition to that, upon hitting an enemy, it will push them back. Think kinda like the shortstop shove, but if it did bat damage, and worked properly, and had a third-person animation. But for drawbacks, this weapon would fire 50% slower, meaning you could only swing this bat every 0.75 seconds. And this weapon will holster 75% slower. So if you take it out to try to reflect something or push someone away, you're going to need to be a little bit more committed to it, because it'll take longer to get back to your other weapons. If you're willing to put yourself in the path of a projectile, you could try to use your bat to smack it away. Not as good as an air blast on a flamethrower, because it's a bat, it doesn't shoot flames. But it might come in handy sometime. You could just take that out and smack that rocket back, it might save your skin. Or you might get hit and die, I don't know. And that was that. Some scout weapon ideas. The final class in this first series, I guess. I put the first one out like 10 months ago. And man, I didn't expect it to be as generally well received as it's been. But you know, this always was something I planned on keeping updated. I still have some more ideas that haven't been shown in any videos. And I also have looked at the feedback. Some people have said maybe I should come up with names for the weapons. And if I do that, I'm gonna do my best to make sure that they're all really bad puns. And I've also had some people recommend that I draw out how I imagine those weapons to look. Which is something I've considered doing for a while. It would be a lot of work, but I could give it a go. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Stay tuned. More will come eventually.